reset. We had a little hiatus. Glad to have you back, though. It was a big weekend, but weather is throwing a wrench in it.
Yeah, you know, the weather's obviously plays a big part into the attractions operating at both Attitash Mountain Resort and Wildcat Mountain, and certainly we were hoping to really get off to a great start this weekend, but unfortunately, obviously, the news I'll share first is that both, considering the weather, the forecast, the heavy rain that's happening, both Wildcat Mountain and Attitash Mountain Resort will be closed today.
Right. Well, I think that's for the best, and really, no one's going to want to spend too much time outside today. It's supposed to be pretty constant rain, but we're looking forward to possibly tomorrow or Monday.
Yep. Yeah. The plan at this point for both areas is to operate weekends only, including the Memorial Holiday weekend this Monday. So we'll be operating weekends only until the Saturday, June
15th. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So then both start to go with daily operations.
Good. So it starts to get crazy from here on out.
Yeah.
Now, you guys never slowed down, though. You brought a couple new things to the Attitash lineup, and you both have separate things going on. So let's start at Attitash and the newbies.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Attitash Mountain Resort, I think people are familiar with it. I always say it's one of the original summer fun ski areas.
Yes.
You're seeing a lot more ski areas starting to add these off-season attractions, these fun things, this outdoor recreation. And Attitash Mountain Resort is known for its Alpine Slides.
I know. Do you remember coming up as a kid? I mean, doing the Alpine Slide. It's crazy. It's fun. Kids love it.
Yeah, it was Attitash, and then I don't know if you remember Whittier Mountain used to have the monorail. Do you remember that at all?
I don't remember. All I remember is Alpine Slide.
That's going way back, but that's about the same era. You know, they started to do these attractions. So it was in 1976 that Attitash added the Alpine Slide, and then from there, I mean, we've continued to add more and more attractions. We've got water slides, we've got horseback riding, we've got lift service downhill mountain biking. We've got climbing wall, we got Eurobungee trampoline jump. We also added the Nor'easter mountain coaster. That was a couple years ago. That's the longest one in the Mount Washington Valley. And then this year we're super excited because we're adding a new free fall airbag jump, which is really cool.
Have you done it?
I have not. We're still, I mean, it's literally, it's getting set up. It's ready to go, hopefully this weekend. Definitely, I mean, we were looking to try and get it ready for today. Obviously, the mountain's going to be closed today. But I haven't had a chance to try it yet. But it looks, I mean, the airbag, I think people know about the airbags now because we have these operating in the wintertime. People were jumping into them on skis and snowboard. But now we've set up an enormous scaffolding setup.
Well, I heard it's like 3 stories high.
Yeah, it's 3 stories high. It's a lot more. I mean, when you say 3 stories isn't that big, but then when you actually look at the scaffolding,
it makes me sweat just thinking about it.
Yeah, and we took a few photos of it, and it's pretty. Actually looking down, it's pretty intimidating. But once the airbag is there, I mean, obviously that takes up quite a bit of space, but still, it's going to be a kind of a fun new and nobody's doing this, so it's a really new attraction, and really excited to have that. Also at Attitash, we're adding Slacklines.
Now this is a growing popularity.
Yeah.
I saw one at Shula Park just this last weekend with the Be Kind fair, but it's pretty amazing what kids are doing on those.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, you got a 2-inch like sort of nylon webbing strap.
Yeah.
It's pulled under tension, but not like rigid tight. So it's got a little bit of bounce to it, almost like a trampoline. And yeah, we were down at the Boston Ski Show this previous fall, and they were actually doing a competition, and it's amazing what they were doing on these slack lines. So it's, not only that, I mean, it's a really good exercise, good workout, it's good core, because it's balancing and it's all those, balancing muscles and stuff like that. So then you get balance, and then you can start to bounce and turn around and walk backwards and drop. They
were doing like flips. I've seen, like if you Google slack lines online, you're going to see some amazing stuff.
Yeah, you will. So I mean, it's an increasingly popular activity, so we're going to put up a couple of these slack lines at Attitash just for people to enjoy. And
so do they have to pay to use these? I mean, do you need a ticket?
Yeah, it's all part of the sort of general admission ticket that we sell. So that people know, I mean, this time of year, until we start to operate daily, we sort of have limited attractions. We don't have the full operating status. Like, we won't have the water slides this time of year. We don't have the horseback riding. Yeah, a little cold for water slides. But
that'd be very brave. Parents are like, you're going.
Yeah. So we have kind of a reduced rate general admission ticket. This time of year, if you're going, you can take it. Unlimited rides on the mountain coaster, the Alpine Slides. You could do the lift service downhill mountain biking or the trail mountain biking. Climbing wall, Eurobungee, the airbag jump, slack lines, and the admission ticket for persons over 48 inches is $25.
Oh, good.
And for those under 48 inches, it's $15. So that's a reduced rate ticket. And then when we're open up with all the attractions, water slides, everything, we go up to $45 for persons over 48 inches and spacing on the under 48 inch.
Yeah,
great,
I
but-
couldn't tell you that one.
No,
offhand.
I wouldn't expect
But
you to if I
You
don't-
can actually, the websites are great.
Yeah, as always, Attitash.com is the best place to go to
Yep.
get all the information that you need. You know, all the information on the attractions, sort of the height, weight, and ride restrictions involved with all of that.
And it's good to check that out ahead of time. Now we're looking at the webpage.
Yeah, we are looking. So there's a shot of the scaffolding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that it's set up
That's
over
gonna
by
be
the
so
Adventure Center.
popular.
Yeah, so you'll have an option of 2 jump points. You can see that there's a lower one and an upper one, and it's going to be pretty wild.
Now, do they have like a form that you have to follow? Like, do they
Yeah, I
coach
mean,
you
the
at
idea.
all?
I mean, I'm sure you've seen like stunt movies where they jump off the building and they kind of land on their back.
Right.
I mean, that's the idea. Is you want
In
to
my mind, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah, I don't think you want. I mean,
really-
obviously, we're not going to allow people to do like a pencil dive. That would not.
Oh, jeez.
that would probably not be
It just
good. but-
sounds painful.
Yeah, so it's it's going to be kind of a cool attraction.
Good. So, and then horseback riding and hand-led pony rides are also, that's a little bit back on the calendar. June 15th, is that
That's
sort
right.
of
That's
the
when those
target
come
date?
online. They come online when we start to operate daily. So the horseback riding down there by the fields of Attitash, beautiful trail riding.
And do they go right there to get the horse
Yes.
rides? Okay,
Yep.
so they don't have to go
so
to the
I mean,
main
if
resort.
you're approaching Attitash from North Conway, the entrance to the fields of Attitash is on the right-hand side, about
Yes.
a quarter mile down the road before you actually get to the main base area.
Okay.
So fields of Attitash there, and all the information can be seen at attitash.com. And the mountain biking is a big thing too. I think we talked a little bit about that, but the lift service downhill mountain biking is excellent. We've got some really great new high-end demo downhill mountain
Really?
bikes that Nate built up, and we've
Cool.
got some great events going on this year. 2 major Eastern States Cup downhill events that
Oh,
we're
wow.
hosting, and then a weekly race league, which Hans is showing right now, Pin the Trail, and that starts up in July. So
Oh,
a lot
that's
of stuff
amazing.
going on.
Yeah, and now what would you say? Can you take your time on the downhill mountain bike, or is it sort of like you're down in 30 seconds? I mean, how does that usually work?
There's very 2 distinctive. There's lift service downhill mountain biking that we offer, and then there's trail single track riding. I'm more of a single track trail rider. I mean, I like getting aggressive, but the downhill mountain biking is a totally different sort of species altogether.
Yeah.
You're not just kind of cruising down our ski trails. It's down like super steep, single track, like rocks, drops. If you have not seen these bikes, actually, I'm hoping to get Nate in at some point to
good.
show what a bike is about, because it's basically a motocross bike without an engine. I mean, they've got 8
the
inches
dual
of travel.
suspension.
Yeah, and the guys are, I mean, the full face helmets, full padding and armor.
Yeah.
And it's quite an amazing thing. And from what I understand, from what Attitash Mountain Resort has some of the more challenging downhill mountain biking terrain that's out there. So I mean, there's definitely a distinct breed of mountain bikers, and then you have this segment of downhill mountain bikers, and it's kind of like I mean, it's once you get into it, it's a
Yeah.
whole community.
Well, I'm sure it's very addicted, that adrenaline rush that they must get.
And you as a hockey player, like the padding is akin to that. I mean, you're fully padded up.
in case bubble wrap.
Yeah,
Good.
pretty much, exactly.
All right, so let's head up now to Pinkham Notch.
Yeah, up to
And
Wildcat
Wildcat.
Mountain. We have New Hampshire's highest scenic gondola. We put the enclosed cabins on this time of year. We've taken off the 4-person chairs. It's, as you know, we operate it as a high-speed lift in the wintertime.
Right.
But we do take the chairs off. We put on the enclosed cabins. And it's just an amazing sort of attraction for people to go up and take
Now,
advantage of number 1 scenery and views. Yeah.
Do you still allow dogs?
Yes, we do still allow well-behaved dogs on leash. We don't allow the dogs in the base lodge, but you can purchase a ticket, or not. The ticket, the dog does not need a ticket. You don't need to buy a ticket for the dog.
For you, extra $50.
Yeah, but yes, no, dogs can accompany you up to the summit of Wildcat.
Okay, and can you hang out there for a while and then just grab whatever gondola is open on the way down, or?
Yes, that's how
usually
that absolutely works. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if there's busy lines, you'd have to wait. But yeah, you just kind of go up and take your time, as much time as you want. Except if you're going up late in the day, there's obviously a last car ride up at like 4:45. And if you're going up at the last car, you kind of have to ride right back down.
Okay.
But new this year, it's going to be really kind of an interesting experience for people to go up, because since we've closed our skiing operations to now, we removed the old Summit Gondola building.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I think I saw you post that, but I didn't look. Did you have a video or some pictures?
Yeah,
or
we
something?
recently put up a video of the sort of removal project, and you can see that on our website, or if you follow our
Wow. It must look
Facebook
so
fan page.
different.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia and sort of emotions involved with the old Summit Gondola building. I mean, people just have memories, associated with it. But it had not been in functional use since the late 90s.
It was getting
and
pretty,
it
yeah.
became sort of rotting. Actually, we're looking at it right now, the video. So we put together kind of a Max Goslin, my sort of marketing assistant. He's doing some really good video work for me this year. And these are some older shots of the older buildings in Wildcat Mountain back in the day, probably in the early 50s, actually 1958, when the gondola first started to operate. So we've got some footage here, and then you'll start to see the removal project.
Now the building hasn't been in use for many years.
That's right.
And it was starting
it had
to
been
get
neglected.
a little, yeah.
I mean, not just a little. I mean, it was there, but it was kind of an eyesore. It was rotting, and you know, Josh Boyd and Peak Resorts looked at this building, trying to understand, was there any way for us to feasibly kind of restore it, renovate it, working with the Forest Service, but it was just not a feasible project. There's just the amount of money, the amount of regulations, everything involved. There's no water up there. It just would not have been a project that to operate. To sell hot chocolates, just is not.
You just always thinking like, oh, wouldn't that be a great? Like,
it would be. I mean, it'd be a great location, but
yeah.
it's just so difficult in this day and age to do anything of that magnitude. So we took it down, and you know, the idea is to restore a little bit of the natural beauty that's up there, and just it's going to be pretty amazing.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is. So. That project took place. We finally pulled down the remaining structure on Saturday the 18th.
Oh, so 100% done?
100% done. Yeah, I mean, I imagine they're still doing just a little bit of cleanup of all the remnants. We had these really cool track trucks that was taking down all the. I think you'll be able to see some of it.
Oh, there you go. There's the video.
Yeah, and that's the old engine they're taking down. That's a radiator, a giant radiator.
That must have been quite a project.
It was a huge project, and not. I mean, people. It's like the amount of money that we had to invest into actually taking the building down to restore sort of a bit of a natural beauty. Is pretty amazing. I mean, we had welders up there to kind of, you know, prepare the structure to be pulled down.
That's pretty amazing. And they can find this at Ski Wildcat,
Those
right?
are those trucks I'm talking. See the tracks on them? Those really kind of, they're like a giant Tonka toy.
Nice. Now, you can view this whole video at skiwildcat.com, correct?
Yeah, skiwildcat.com. It's on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/wilduser. You can see it online there. And
good.
It's really
okay,
cool.
so let's get back to the attraction. Oh, no, don't be sorry. That's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And I think people will appreciate, you know, like going up, it's going to be a whole different experience up there.
It's going to be a really more natural experience and sort of beautiful 360-degree views.
Right, and hopefully starting tomorrow, weather dependent, and they can go to the website for that as well?
Yeah, and there may even be, I mean, I heard you talking to the Weather Observatory, but there was some forecast for snow, so we'll see how that turns out.
Roger was, the gentleman up on top was talking about the temperatures, though, being weird enough, warmer, that it might be just more like a mixed type of thing, frozen. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, but you guys can stay tuned to Attitash.com or skiwildcat.com for those weather dependent attractions.
Absolutely,
and hopefully by Monday at least.
Yeah, and if they follow us on Facebook, our fan pages, or on Twitter pages, we're really good about updating sort of, you know, timely information there, as well as our website. So.
All right. Well, Thomas, thank you so much. Did we cover everything? There's like a huge list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we haven't even got. All right. We have another 5 seconds.
Okay, 5 seconds.
Just
next Saturday, June 1st, up at Wildcat Mountain, we're hosting the annual Kids Free Fishing Day.
Yes.
We host this with the Appalachian Mountain Club and the U.S. Forest Service. It's a great event for children and families to come up and learn how to fish.
And you can just show up on the day and register there.
Yep, that's right. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I encourage you to be up there and be signed up and ready to go before noon.
Absolutely. Now, do they have to bring their own gear?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They do have to bring their own fishing gear. So.
All right, good. And then that's not all, though. You're hosting a 5K?
Yes, at Attitash Mountain Resort on Father's Day, we're hosting the Thad Thorne 5K Memorial Mountain Run. It's a sort of a fun 5K running event at Attitash Mountain Resort. Raises some money for the local Bartlett Rec Ski League or ski team. So that's a really great event. You can check that out at attitash.com, at skiwildcat.com. And then sort of the last thing I want to talk about is season pass deadline.
Oh, right.
We're talking about 2013, 2014 season passes. You can purchase them now before June 1st at the absolute lowest rates. You're paying the same rate that you paid for your early pass last year. And all passes include Wildcat, Attitash, and Crotchet Mountain.
Yeah, I read that on my script this morning. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, I mean, you know, it's one of those things where you're just getting more vertical value and variety for a pass that you paid the same rate for last year. We gave you a whole nother mountain.
I know. You guys just keep adding mountains to the pass and not charging anymore. It's a pretty good deal for everybody.
It's a great deal. So, June 1st, take advantage of it. You can see there's an ad in the Conway Daily Sun that has all the pricing rates, or you can see it online. So.
Oh, good. And one last note, 80 years.
80 years, yeah. yeah, that's another event that we're celebrating at Wildcat Mountain. 80 years of the Wildcat Trail, originally cut in 1933 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. So I know they're doing a lot of events to recognize 80 years of the Civilian Conservation Corps, but we're going to be celebrating Saturday, August 24th. We're doing a really big event, going to have live music, barbecue, guided tours and hikes and stuff up at Wildcat Mountain Saturday, August 24th. I'm sure I'll be on before then.
Okay, good. You can take a breath now. I think you went over the 5 seconds.
I know I did.
All right.
I always do.
Well, thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kelly.
All right, folks, we'll be back. We have a lot more to come, including more information about the Mount Washington Observatory coming up next.